After Joey officially announced his engagement to the daughter of the Johnson family, I, a washed-up third-rate actress, broke a bombshell to the reporters. I have a child with him. Because of this bombshell, Joey finally agreed to answer my call. Hello, I'm dying. Will you raise the child? Even in Joey's breathing, there was a sense of disgust towards me. After a few seconds, he said indifferently, fine, when you're dead, I'll raise her. As expected, he didn't believe me. He didn't even look at the medical records I sent to his email. After all, back then, I had used all my schemes and means on him just for money, but now, I still can't change my nature. I might not die anytime soon. Can you take her away first? She's easy to raise. She doesn't need much attention, and she's obedient and quiet. Before I could finish, he had already hung up the phone. When I called again, it showed that I had been blocked. It doesn't matter. I have plenty of ways to send the child to him. When I turned around, 6-year-old Riley looked at me with her big, wet eyes. She held up a plate of fried eggs in her hand as if showing off a precious treasure. Mom, Riley has learned to fry eggs in the small pan. Riley can take care of Mom. Mom, please don't give Riley away. Okay. She climbed onto the bed and fed me eggs with a small spoon. Only then did I notice that there was a small blister on her tender left cheek, which was caused by hot oil. My conscience pricked me. What a sin. I even need a little child to take care of me. Recently, I've been lazy and sleepy all day. I really haven't taken good care of this child. Her braids are loose. Her clothes are old and torn. She's been hungry and full every day, and her little chin has become sharp. It's better to let Joey raise her. After all, he's the heir of a wealthy family. Even the dogs in his family eat better than Riley does now. I coaxed her. Our family is very poor, and Mom has a terminal illness. I could die at any moment. How can you, a little kid, live on your own? Go on, go to your dad's and have a better life. I pointed at the photo and said, look, this is your dad, and that is your dad's fiancée, who will be your new mom. From now on, you'll form a happy family of 3. Your classmate Bob won't laugh at you for not having a dad anymore. Riley held the ears of her rabbit doll, and tears streamed down her face. I don't want a dad, and I don't want a new mom, only want my own mom. This little kid is as stubborn as me, but I'm her mom, and I'm more stubborn than her. Finally, I managed to persuade her. She blinked her big eyes, let out a crying hiccup, and said, Dad is so rich, can he take Mom to see a doctor? I pinched her little face. Your dad hates me to death. If you say that, even you will be thrown out. You have to tell him that Mom is a vicious and bad woman who beats and scolds you every day, won't let you go to school, and doesn't even feed you enough. If she dies of illness, it serves her right. Only when you're on the same side as your dad will he believe you. I specifically chose the day of Joey's company's anniversary celebration to send the child to him. That man was handsome and dashing, standing on the stage in a well-pressed suit, shining brightly. I suddenly remembered the words he said to his mother 6 years ago. I'm just keeping her outside for fun. I won't really bring her home, don't worry. Although I didn't have much true feelings for him either, but I hold grudges. Soon, he won't be able to maintain his composure. As soon as he stepped down from the stage, Riley rushed towards him like a small cannonball. Dad, Dad, looking at the little face in front of him that was 90% similar to his, Joey almost went crazy. He laughed out of extreme anger. Very good. Luna really dared to secretly raise my child. The scene was in chaos, obviously. The child was born from both of us, just because he's rich, so the onlookers only scold me. Right, Luna's revelation is actually true. TSK, it's rare for her to tell the truth. She specifically chose to reveal this before the grand wedding of the Smith and Johnson families. The stocks of the Smith family will probably hit the limit down tomorrow. Right, Luna just wants to make a big fuss. Otherwise how can she make money? Look, the child's sweater is all pilled. There's a burn on her face, and her bangs are cut like they were gnawed by a dog. Even if the child is a tool for her to make money, she should treat her better. With such an unreliable mom, the child is really unlucky. Well, the more they scold, the happier I am instead. At least it can let Riley know that her mom is a bad woman. This way, when I send her away, she won't come back and pester me anymore. You know, raising a child is actually quite troublesome. Joey squatted down and tried to control his anger as he asked, Where is Luna? How much money does she want this time? Mom doesn't want money. Mom is already dead. Joey was stunned for a moment. When did this happen? Riley seemed to remember something suddenly. She stuffed the rabbit doll into Joey's hand. Dad, hold this for me. Then she took out a powder blue urn and a forged death certificate from her backpack. She died the day before yesterday. The ashes were still fresh. I taught her all this. Joey was silent for a moment, and it was hard to tell what he was feeling. Riley looked at Joey cautiously. Dad, will you raise me? Dad, I'm not picky about food. Mom said that the food for your Samoyed is very delicious. I can eat the same as it. I couldn't help laughing. Little fool. Just because I said the dog food in his house is good, we can't really eat dog food. Joey gritted his teeth and squeezed out a sentence. Did your mom feed you dog food? Is that how she raised you? Riley thought for a moment and nodded. I also taught her this. As long as her dad asks about the bad things her mom did, she should say, yes. Joey's face obviously turned cold. He turned to his assistant and said, scatter the ashes. She won't die no matter who dies. This liar. Finally, he picked up Riley and left under the escort of his assistant and bodyguards. The reporters took a lot of photos. Among them, a few paparazzi who were like dogs that couldn't let go once they smelled the meat were specifically called by me. No matter how Joey tries to suppress the trending topics later, at least this wave of public opinion has been created. He has to recognize this child. I've achieved my goal. By the way, I sent the child to the scene via a food delivery guy. The above content was also relayed to me by him, plus my own imagination, because I can't go to the scene myself. I was just rushed to the hospital by an ambulance for emergency treatment the day before yesterday. The gossip from the next bed woke me up. Tell me quickly, what happened to that child in the trending topic? Did the Smith family recognize her? Yes, they did. Why wouldn't they? They even did a paternity test. My cousin said that Joey dotes on her quite a lot and even takes her to work with him. How does your cousin know? She's Joey's assistant. She said that the child is very obedient and cute. When Mr. Joey is working, she just plays by herself obediently. At least Joey has a bit of conscience. The child is also pitiful. I heard that she often wakes up in the middle of the night and cries, saying that she misses her mom. That's why Mr. Joey takes her with him to soothe her. Is Miss Kathy of the Johnson family willing to be a stepmother? Why not? I heard that she has liked Joey for many years, and for wealthy families, raising a child is as easy as raising a cat. It has no impact on her. She often buys toys and brings them to the company to coax the child. She's really nice to the child. I suddenly felt much more relaxed. The trending topic on my phone seems to be true. Hashtag Kathy becomes a stepmother. Hashtag. The accompanying picture shows Joey, Kathy, and Riley having a meal in a high-end children's restaurant. The look in her eyes when she picked up food for Riley was quite gentle. I've been struggling in the entertainment industry since I was a teenager, and I won't mistake that look. Riley was laughing widely while eating ice cream, showing all her teeth. Well, the little kid is eating well, living well in the Smith family, and being coaxed by others. She will definitely forget me after a while. In a good mood, I couldn't help but order food delivery. The nurse who came to check on me advised me, have a good rest. When has a patient just gotten a little better and then started ordering food delivery and buying cosmetics? I smiled. I've loved being beautiful since I was a child. Even if I die, I want to be a beautiful corpse. It's a pity that I won't be beautiful for long. Sigh. I guess it's retribution for often deceiving people to make money in the early years. That's why I deserve to have a short life. After applying lipstick, my pale face finally has a bit of color, but suddenly, a sentence reached my ears. Hey, my cousin said that the child was suddenly hospitalized and is in our hospital. I ran towards the children's ward. The words they said lingered in my mind. Some people are spreading the word that Miss Johnson poisoned the child. Damn, is the vicious stepmother trope coming true in real life? When I rushed to the children's ward, the door was just opening a crack. Kathy said in a low voice, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was allergic to mangoes. I shouldn't have given her mango juice. Joey soothed her. It's okay. It was just an accident. If we have to blame someone, it's Luna for not taking good care of the child. Riley didn't even know she was allergic to mangoes. To soothe his fiancée, he put the blame on me. Joey, you're really despicable. I stood in the corner and waited for them to leave before sneaking into the ward. Riley had just woken up. She opened her eyes hazily, and then her eyes suddenly lit up. She stretched out her hands towards me. Mom, give me a hug. Why did you deliberately eat mangoes? Riley has always been obedient. She knows that eating mangoes will make her feel terrible and has never touched mangoes. And I know that with Kathy's status and intelligence, she wouldn't stoop to doing such a stupid thing. so it's only possible that Riley ate them on purpose herself. She lay in my arms and said softly, "Mom, I'm sorry. I miss you so much. I know Mom is in the hospital." If I had an allergic reaction, Dad would definitely send me to the hospital. There are thousands of hospitals in City N. The little fool was lucky and actually met me. She grinned and said, "Great, I really saw Mom. I was so angry with her. You have food and a place to live in the Smith family. Why do you miss me? Don't do this again in the future. And don't think about me either. I'm very busy. I have to go." Her little hands held onto me tightly and wouldn't let go, with red eyes. She begged me, "Mom, can you stay with Riley for a while longer? Just for a little while, okay?" She touched my nose. "Is your body still hurting, Mom? Will your nose still bleed?" At that moment, a surge of sadness flowed into my body. If I weren't going to die soon, how could I not raise her? Riley hugged me and chattered nonstop. "Dad's house is so big, and there are so many people. But when I think of you being alone, Mom, I feel a little sad." "Oh, right, Mom, I have something for you." She took out a shining diamond ring from the small strawberry-patterned cloth bag beside her. "Isn't this ring beautiful? It will definitely look good on you, Mom. Mom, can you wear it for just one day, then sell it, and you'll have money to treat your illness?" I also asked Dad for money, but he wouldn't give it to me. He said that I'm a child and can't ask for money. My face immediately fell. "Where did you get this ring? Did you take it from your dad's house?" Riley hung her head and didn't say a word. I almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. "Who told you to steal things? Is this what I taught you? You even asked your dad for money?" I can't imagine how Joey would think of her. A scheming woman who loves money gave birth to a daughter who is also money-loving. I couldn't choose my birth. I've struggled in the mire for more than 20 years. I don't want Riley to repeat my miserable life. My voice was too loud, and Riley was a bit scared. Tears streamed down her face. "Mom, I didn't steal it. I found it in Dad's house. Return it. Don't ever do this again. Do you hear me? Otherwise, I won't see you again in the future." But I suddenly remembered that I might not have a future either. My nose couldn't help feeling sour. As I was pinching the ring with my fingertips and about to hand it to Riley, with a bang, the door was pushed open forcefully. Joey's tall figure loomed over me. He stared at me viciously. "Didn't you say you were dead? Why aren't you dead yet? Teaching a child to steal things and ask for money. Do you deserve to be a mother?" Riley pounced forward. "Dad, I took it myself. It has nothing to do with Mom." Facing Riley, Joey forcefully suppressed his anger. "Dad has something to talk to your mom about. Go and play outside with Aunt Kathy for a while." Kathy came in, glanced at me, and tried to take Riley out. Riley refused to leave no matter what. With tears in her eyes, she insisted on standing in front of me. Dad, Mom is still in pain. Don't hit her. If you're angry, hit Riley." "Okay." Joey forced Kathy to carry Riley out. The muffled sobs of Riley gradually faded away in my ears. It's so annoying that I even want to chase after her. In an instant, there were only the two of us in the ward, staring at each other. He looked at me mockingly. "I dropped a ring as a test. As I expected, the child has been taught badly by you." I knew it, no matter how rich the Smith family is. They wouldn't just leave diamond rings lying around for a little kid to pick up. I taught her quite well. If I didn't have no choice but to give her up, I wouldn't let you have her for nothing. No choice but to give her up. Is it because you have a terminal illness and need a large sum of money for treatment? Is this your new trick to deceive people? This is Joey's character. After he completely doesn't believe me, he's too lazy to even check the truth. He only believes what he sees with his own eyes. He walked closer and closer, almost grabbing my neck. "You don't know how vicious you are. You abandoned the child and lied to her that you were dying. She cries every day, missing her mom. Riley made herself allergic and endured vomiting just to find you. What kind of spell did you cast on her to make such a young child lie with you?" Thinking of Riley's swollen and red face due to the allergy, my eyes ached and felt stuffy, but I still didn't forget to arouse Joey's greater anger. The more Joey hates me, the more he will take good care of Riley and won't let her come to find me again. This is the kind of person I am. It's not the first day you've known me. It's just that you're being stingy and won't give me the money. Give me $8 million to buy out my relationship with Riley. From now on, I'll never appear in front of you again. Joey's eyes were blazing with anger. "Luna, do you still have a heart? You just want to take the money and leave, completely abandoning the child, so that you can go after the next rich guy, right?" I continued to fan the flames. "The little kid is so troublesome. If you want to raise her, then raise her. If not, I'll send her to an orphanage. He was really about to rush over and teach me a lesson. His leather shoes kicked the bedside, making a loud noise. The assistant heard the sound and pushed the door open. Mr. Joey, you still have a meeting to attend. He took the opportunity to pull Joey away. Miss Luna, please leave for now. Joey sat on the sofa to calm down his anger, but I still walked over recklessly. Joey, have you ever thought of the good aspects of me in all these years, even just once? Actually, I really missed the time we spent together. I didn't lie to him about this. I truly missed those days, because during those days, I didn't lack money much. Unlike now, after paying the hospital fees for a few days, I can barely afford to eat. He gave me a deep look, his Adam's apple bobbed up and down, and then he turned his head away. It seems that he doesn't have completely negative feelings towards me, Joey, for the sake of the fact that we once slept in the same bed. How about you lend me 100,000 yuan? I don't have enough for my hospital fees. Joey looked at me in disbelief. Or 50,000 yuan will do. His face turned pale, and he gritted his teeth and squeezed out a sentence. Get out, I won't give you a single penny anymore. Fine, I'll leave. Just as I reached the door, he called me again, his voice tired and cold. Take a last look at Riley. I won't let you have contact with her again in the future. I gripped the doorknob tightly and adjusted my breathing. I won't look, because I'm afraid that I'll be unable to resist pulling her small body into my arms and never want to let go. Sigh, I broke my promise. I left so bravely just now, but now, like a mouse, I'm hiding in the empty corridor, secretly watching Riley being discharged from the hospital. Riley was crying, and Joey was soothing her. Kathy was also teasing her with a doll. In the end, Riley obediently lay on Joey's shoulder and was carried into the car by him. The doctor didn't say that I would have auditory hallucinations because of this illness. How could I still hear Riley call out, "Mom," from hundreds of meters away? In an instant, my nose felt a bit sour and wet. I subconsciously reached out and wiped my nose, and my palm was covered in blood. I thought, this is probably the last time I'll see Riley, and also the last time I'll see Joey. Back then, when I was an 18th line actress in the entertainment industry, the first time I saw Joey, I knew he was a big catch. When this young master of a wealthy family was surrounded by girls trying to please him, I was chatting and laughing with the fat and ugly man next door instead. When Joey's gaze shifted from his wine glass to me for the third time, I knew that I had taken the first step right. When fishing, you have to handle the bait well. If you put too much, the fish will eat enough and not take the hook. If you put too little, the fish will swim away. I started to spend time collecting information about his schedule. After bumping into him 4 or 5 times, finally, this man who was always cold at the wine table couldn't help but ask me, "What's your name, Luna?" I just smiled and answered, "Didn't stay," and turned around and left. Until that day at the banquet, he accidentally heard that someone was going to drug me. In order to send me to the bed of an investor, he grabbed my wrist bone. "Don't drink." Sorry, it was too late. Half a glass of wine had already gone down. I was too weak in the legs and fell into his arms. I cried and told him, "For little nobodies like us, there's no choice at all. If it weren't for my dad's business failure and my mom's illness, I wouldn't be in this line of work." I played the role of being helpless to the fullest, based on the groundwork I had done on him before. Showing disdain for flirting with him and not clinging to him like other women. At that time, Joey believed me. He turned around and kicked the person who drugged me several times. "If you do such despicable things again, don't blame me for crippling you." The corners of my mouth curled up secretly. It served 2 purposes. One was to test whether he was interested in me. The second was that the scene was full of directors, screenwriters, producers, and investors in the entertainment industry. Watching Joey stand up for me, by taking advantage of him, it would be easier for me to get acting roles, activities, and make money in the future. When a flush of alcohol climbed onto my cheeks, I pitifully begged him. Of course, I didn't beg him to go to a hotel. Please send me to the hospital." In the end, I went to his private villa. It was a passionate encounter, and we spent a lingering night together. In fact, no one really drugged me. The 2 people who were supposed to drug me were just extras I hired. Their acting was good, worthy of the price I paid. All of this was part of my plan. I had no choice. If I didn't plan carefully and latch onto a big tree, sooner or later the brokerage company would squeeze me dry and leave me with nothing. Even when Joey gave me money later, I was still acting. While taking the money, I cried and said, "My mom is a former teacher. All her savings were used to support her students. She has students all over the world, but she has no money to treat her own illness. If it weren't for treating her illness, I wouldn't take this money from you. Joey was touched and gave me an additional sum of money. Treat your mom well. I happily saved it. Only with money can I feel secure. In fact, my mom was never a teacher. She didn't even graduate from primary school. She was a completely rotten streetwalker, and I'm just the illegitimate daughter of a streetwalker. You see, my love for money is in my genes. It's all caused by poverty. Talking about my birth, it's a long and unpleasant story. The scoundrel boyfriend my mom dated when she was young ran away. She gave birth to me because it was too late to have an abortion due to the advanced pregnancy. My name is Luna because I was born in January. It's that casual. The home in my memory was a shabby rented room. There was a bed, an old wardrobe, a fan that was about to fall apart, and a lingering smell of decay. Every time my mom brought different men home for lessons, I had to put down my schoolwork and hide in the wardrobe, listening to the creaking sound of that broken bed. I was really annoyed. The next day, I had to take that disgusting money from her hand to buy groceries. What's more annoying is that as soon as she had money, she would go gambling. And sometimes she even gambled away my tuition fees. I cried and scolded her. Why did you give birth to me if you can't raise me well? Why didn't she just die? Later, she was indeed cursed to death by me. One day when I woke up, I found that she had killed a guest with a wine bottle. I stared at her fiercely. Fiona, why did you kill someone? She said indifferently. He hit me. I was angry, so I killed him. The day she was taken away in handcuffs, she left me a huge sum of 20,000 yuan. Go and pay your tuition fees. I felt a bit of pleasure in my heart. This was the path she chose for herself, and I was finally going to get rid of her, but my eyes were extremely sore. I didn't have a mom anymore. No matter how bad and rotten she was my only family member. I carried the recurring hatred for her for several years, until I discovered the truth. That fat guy really deserved it. He said he wanted to mess with Fiona's daughter and even drugged her daughter's juice. The child was greedy and drank it, and immediately passed out, just as the fat guy unbuckled his belt. Fiona, who had just come back, smashed him to death with a wine bottle. Later, the fat guy's family thought it was embarrassing that he was involved in molestation, so they gave Fiona 20,000 yuan to keep her mouth shut and admit guilt. Is it true? The fat guy's wife let it slip, and it's guaranteed to be true. How stupid. Just 20,000 yuan bought out her whole life. Fiona never taught me how to be a good mother. Before she died, she could only lie to her child. In this regard, I have completely learned from her. After being discharged from the hospital, I was bored at home, waiting to die. Sigh, I'm really a failure. After being called a scheming woman for so many years, there's hardly any money in my bank card. Raising a child really costs a lot of money. With the money I spent on treating my illness little by little, there's almost nothing left in my card. Joey gave me a lot of money back then. After accidentally getting pregnant with Riley, it completely disrupted my plan, especially when I woke up one afternoon and heard him talking on the phone with his mother in the study. I'm just keeping her outside for fun. I won't really bring her home, don't worry. I felt a bit sad when I heard that, but I wasn't overly heartbroken. I know my place, at most. Joey and I had a transactional relationship, at that time. I had a little sister who was foolishly in love with a young master of a wealthy family and hoped to marry into the wealthy family through her child, but she was beaten until she had a miscarriage by the future mistress of the wealthy family. As long as I have money, I would be crazy to raise a child, but in the end, looking at the dark B ultrasound report, my heart softened as I looked at it. Little sprout, I'll raise you on my own from now on, okay? I was afraid that if the people of the Smith family found out, they would force me to have an abortion. Without saying a word, I took the money and ran away. Joey was really angry about being broken up with so abruptly and being played with. Most of my money hadn't been transferred in time, and it was frozen. Everyone was gossiping outside. It's the first time Joey has taken a woman seriously, but unexpectedly. She's a scheming woman. Don't ask Luna to act in your plays. Don't offend Mr. Joey. My work in the entertainment industry was basically ruined. Joey was depressed for a while and haunted various bars and clubs, while I was busy taking care of the baby every day. I'm almost going bald from thinking. Why are you crying? Sometimes when she cried, I cried too because I didn't know why she was crying. Fortunately, the child grew up healthy and sound day by day. She began to clearly call me Mom. She would also stuff delicious food into my mouth. She would snuggle softly in my arms and say, I love Mom. On the Qingming festival, when I went to sweep Fiona's grave, I proudly told her, "See, I'm better at raising a child than you." However, I got sick. The house without Riley in it suddenly seemed very large and empty. I scoured various websites and apps, but there was no gossip about Riley. I guessed that Joey had deliberately blocked any information related to her. That damned man was guarding against me like I was a thief. I started going back on my word again, like an addict. I staked out the entrance of Riley's kindergarten. I couldn't help it. I was just the kind of person who didn't keep my promises. When I was feeling well, I was just like a human trafficker, fully armed with a hat, sunglasses, and a mask, hiding around the corner to peek at the child. One day, I just got distracted for a moment. Then I was hugged from behind by two small hands. "Mom, Mom, I knew it was you," in the sunlight. Riley's forehead was sweating, and her little face was flushed. It seemed she had run here in a hurry. She grinned widely, and even the missing front tooth in the upper right corner seemed to be smiling. Dad said Mom wouldn't come to see Riley, but I didn't believe it. "Mom will definitely come." "Mom, I'm so happy." "Are you happy?" I was a bit nervous. "How did you run out? Where's the uncle driver who picks you up from school?" "Mom, I'm sorry." I told a little lie. I told the uncle driver that I needed to go back to school to get my books and asked him to wait for me for a while. While I greedily looked at her little face, I was also like a schizophrenic, seriously admonishing her. "I'm not here to see you, go back quickly. Don't you know that Mom is a bad mom? I'm a big liar. If you're with me, people will laugh at you." I pushed her forward, with tears in her eyes. She refused to leave. A slender hand pulled Riley over. Kathy looked at me coldly. "Luna. What kind of trick are you playing this time, Miss Kathy? Can you spare me a few minutes? Let's talk over there." Riley was then politely but forcefully stuffed into the car by the driver. These young ladies from wealthy families are so innocent. She even dared to believe the nonsense of a scheming woman like me. We walked to a nearby lakeside. "Luna, do you want money, or do you want to use the child to hold on to Joey?" As a woman myself, I could tell that she really liked Joey. I smiled. "I don't want either of those." Kathy looked at me quietly, waiting for my answer. "I know that you and Joey will have your own child in the future, but no matter what, you can ignore Riley. But please don't bully her." Kathy sneered. "Luna, what right do you have to ask me that? I may not have the right. But I have my ways." Suddenly, I grabbed her wrist forcefully and dragged her towards the edge of the lakeside. I looked at her with a strange smile. "Take one more step forward, and you'll fall into the water." Kathy's expression almost cracked. "You're crazy. Do you want to push me into the water? Don't you know that I can swim?" Of course I knew, because the person who was going to fall into the water was me. Soon, the lake water surrounded me from all directions and dragged me down. With a splash, someone jumped in and grabbed me. When we got back to the shore, Kathy was furious. "I didn't push you at all. What do you mean by falling in yourself?" I smiled and told her, "In a situation where there's no one around, it's the easiest way to test human nature. A person who is kind in a life and death situation can't be too bad in character. You won't be too mean to Riley." Kathy was speechless. "What if I didn't save you just now? Anyway, no one would see if you died." I pointed to a wooden house not far from the lakeside. "I installed a surveillance camera there. My backup plan is that if you didn't save me and were really that cruel, then I would just die. But as long as I don't come back to the shore within an hour, the surveillance footage will be automatically sent to the reporters." I wrung the wet water out of my hair. "Don't forget, I used to be an actress. I calculated exactly what position and what movements would make it look like you pushed me into the water. Today is Wednesday. I've observed that you come to pick up Riley from school every Wednesday. Even Riley's encounter with me was part of my elaborate plan. Once the news breaks that you killed someone, will the Smith family still marry you? Even if Joey likes you very much, he has to consider the interests of the Smith family." Kathy was shocked. "You're crazy. You really are crazy to plan this with your own life." "Mom, it was Riley who had disobediently broken free from the driver and come to find us." "Riley, Mom fell into the water just now, and Aunt Kathy saved Mom." Riley has always been a grateful child. She pounced on Kathy and hugged her. "Thank you, Aunt Kathy, you're a really, really good person. Riley likes you." Kathy was a bit flustered. "Don't hug me, I'm wet." I stepped forward and patted her. "The child likes you. And Joey likes the child. Indirectly, Joey will like you even more, so, it's worth it." After I forcefully stuffed Riley into the car, Kathy whispered, "Actually, you're wasting your efforts. I already liked Riley quite a lot." Miss Kathy, you'll understand when you have your own child in the future. Parents always plan for their children's long-term future. I didn't have much time left. I wanted to do as much as I could. Kathy seemed to suddenly think of something. If you think that making the child hate you and be disgusted with you will make her break away from you faster, it's actually another kind of harm to her. The kind-hearted attending physician called again to persuade me to be hospitalized. At least do some treatment, and you can live a bit longer. No, I really don't have the money. The other side could only heave a long sigh. In fact, I wasn't completely out of money, since I got sick. I had started planning how to give Riley to Joey to raise. I had put all my savings in a trust. In case Joey didn't raise her or treated Riley badly, she would still have a last hope. I thought my ending would be to die alone at home, and someone would only find me when my body started to stink. But things are unpredictable, and there was actually another ending. That day, the sun was shining brightly, and I seemed to have a bit of a last burst of energy. I went for a walk to the pedestrian bridge. There was a commotion under the bridge, and a series of exclamations were heard. A child has fallen into the water. Is there anyone who can swim? Some people were panicked, while others just watched the excitement. Whether they really couldn't swim or were just pretending, no one took the risk to jump in and save the child because the water was flowing rapidly after the rain. I handed my phone to the girl with glasses who had called the police and the rescue team. Then I plunged into the water with all my might. Kathy might never know that she was the first-place winner in the city's youth swimming competition back then, while I was the sixth-place finisher standing in the corner, looking up at her, because I was self-taught and didn't have the money for professional training. Otherwise, I was confident that I could also stand on the podium to receive an award. When I was a teenager, I swam as happily as a fish, but now that I was sick, my body was as heavy as a rotten log. Suddenly, a heart-wrenching cry from a mother came from the shore. I used my last bit of strength to lift the child up. This time, I really sank down. Baby Riley, Mom is really leaving this time. The next day, a piece of news from City N became a trending topic. Hashtag the recovery of the body of the heroine Luna who saved someone. Hashtag, I'm crying so much. Everyone called her a gold digger. But she sacrificed her life to save others. So great. She was really kind. So she was actually smeared by others before and was blocked in the entertainment industry for so many years. The deceased should be respected. Please forgive me for having scolded her before. I'm sorry. No wonder there's a saying in the entertainment industry that when someone dies, everyone starts to love them. Hee. In fact, I really am a scheming woman. I didn't forget to play tricks even when saving someone. I gave my phone to that girl, and the screen was filled with my information. I just wanted the news to know it was me as soon as possible, because Kathy's words woke me up. I had been blindly trying to show my bad side to make Riley break away from me as soon as possible, but I hadn't thought that this would also cause harm to Riley. I didn't want her to search for my information on the internet when she grew up and find all negative comments. This can be the last thing I do for Riley. To earn a good reputation as a mother for her, perhaps because I died young and still had a lingering attachment to the world, my soul floated in the air. It floated into the Smith family's residence. Riley, who was taking a nap, suddenly woke up crying, Mom, Mom. When Joey heard the crying, he immediately dropped the notebook in his hand and went forward to pick up Riley. What's wrong? Riley, Dad, I dreamed that Mom fell into the water. Riley's crying grew louder and louder, leaving Joey at a loss as to how to soothe her. In desperation, he told his assistant, Find Luna, I'm willing to give her $8 million, ask where she is. A few minutes later, the phone rang. Mr. Joey, Miss Luna can't be found. 20 million. Ask her to come, Mr. Joey. After Miss Luna saved someone by the X River this morning, she was washed away by the current. And the rescue team still hasn't found her. Joey's fingers suddenly trembled uncontrollably. Riley, there's something urgent at Dad's company. I need to go out for a while. After he handed Riley to the nanny, he stepped on the gas pedal and rushed out. Out of curiosity, my soul floated and followed him. It turned out that he was going to salvage my body. He mobilized all kinds of forces. He himself stayed by the shore all night and tried to jump into the water several times, but was stopped by the rescue team. He stood on the shore and cursed me through gritted teeth. Luna, you'd better be playing dead, otherwise, don't let me find you. I'll definitely kill you. Kill me then. Anyway, I'm already dead. It wasn't until the third day that my body was found downstream. I was quite dissatisfied. I was bloated from being soaked in water and looked really ugly. Joey looked at my body in silence for a long time. Can a soul also feel tears? A tear fell on my forehead. Sure enough, the one who's dead is the one who's hard to forget. Joey silently arranged my funeral arrangements while coaxing Riley, saying that I had gone on a trip and asking Riley to be patient. But every day, Riley would ask him, "Dad, can we go find Mom today?" One day, Joey suddenly asked Riley, "Tell Dad the truth. You said your mom often goes out to find men and doesn't care about you. Is that true?" Oh, it was this sentence. Riley had told a shortened version. What I had taught her was clearly like this: Mom goes out to date men during the day and brings men home to sleep at night. She doesn't care about Riley at all. Suddenly, Riley burst into tears. "Dad, I lied. Mom has never ignored Riley." "Riley, what kind of mom is your mom?" "She's the best mom in the world. Mom loves Riley very much, and Riley loves Mom too. Mom will cook delicious food for Riley, comb my hair beautifully, tell a lot of nice stories." When Riley was sick, Mom would secretly hide and cry. "Mom, I didn't know that a soul could also feel heartache. It ached in waves." "Riley, I'm sorry. Mom gave birth to you but didn't get to accompany you as you grew up." Joey seemed to think of something and opened his email in a bit of a panic. He scrolled through and found the email from 3 months ago. It was my medical record. He was silent for a long time. Then he slowly hugged Riley tightly and buried his head on Riley's shoulder. "Riley, I'm sorry. It's Dad who was wrong. Dad wrongly blamed Mom. Dad, are you crying? Your tears are cold." Joey's voice was choked up like a wounded little beast. Riley gently patted Joey and suddenly said, "Dad, is Mom dead?" Joey was stunned for a moment. Riley's eyes turned red, but she tried her best to force a smile. "Dad, Mom said that when she dies, she will go to heaven and turn into the moon to watch over me. I want to grow up happily so that Mom will be happy when she looks at me, baby." "Thank you for remembering every word," Mom said. "Before, when I told her that I was sick and would die, she cried by my bedside. Mom can't die. If Mom dies, Riley won't have a mom anymore." I casually coaxed her. "Even if Mom dies, I won't leave you. I'll turn into the moon to watch over you. Riley, you can see Mom as soon as you look up." My soul gradually became thinner and was almost about to dissipate, although it was of no use. I shouted with all my strength, "Riley, please grow up well. Mom loves you. I really, really, really love you." "Dad," I seem to have heard Mom's voice. What did she say?" "She said she loves Riley." Dad loves Riley too." "Oh, I see, then I can rest in peace." Joey's side story. Joey had never thought that Luna would die. Didn't they say that the wicked live a long life? Riley was so cute. How could she bear to leave her behind? The moment he saw her body, a hole was torn in his heart, and it could never be mended. He sorrowfully realized that he had never been able to let go of this heartless woman, whether it was 6 years ago or 6 years later. He liked to see her two sharp little canine teeth when she smiled. He liked how she was affected and artificial when she pretended to be an innocent girl, a bit cute while being shrewd and mercenary. "Luna, what kind of life do you like?" "A life with money." Well, he was quite wealthy. He didn't know when it started, but he had fallen deeply for her and began to plan their future together. For people like him, bringing different women to various places usually wouldn't draw the attention of their families, but bringing the same woman for a long time would arouse suspicion. His mother had already warned him, "Joey, don't forget that your half-brother also has the right of inheritance. If you're inferior to your elder brother in terms of marriage, how can you compete with him? Don't waste all the efforts your mother has put in for decades." Joey replied casually, "Mom, you're overthinking. This woman I'm with now is just someone I'm keeping outside for fun. I won't really bring her home. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." At that time, he just wanted to reassure his mother, because no one knew better than him his mother's decisive and ruthless way of doing things. Luna couldn't compete with his mother. He thought that as long as he endured for a while and gained the core power of the company, he might be able to give Luna a proper and legitimate commitment, but unfortunately, she didn't care about it at all. After hearing from his assistant that she had disappeared, Joey had been in meetings for 20 consecutive hours without sleeping and then flew back directly from Australia, looking at the emptied house and the missing person. Joey's anger was so intense that it seemed he could set the whole house on fire, freeze her cards. "Since she loves money so much, I don't believe she won't come back to me." 6 years had passed, and she seemed to have completely vanished from his world. He couldn't find her, and there was no news about her. If it hadn't been for the fact that Luna was dying, she wouldn't have let him know at all that they had a daughter. "Luna, you have no heart." After coaxing Riley to sleep, he couldn't fall asleep for the whole night. Regret gnawed at his heart bit by bit like insects. If he had believed her earlier and taken her to the hospital for treatment earlier, or if he had tried harder to find her back then, with his financial resources, he would never have let her die so quickly. Unfortunately, the most useless thing in the world was, if he took Riley back to the home that she and Luna used to live in. It was very warm and cozy, and it was full of Luna's style everywhere. Dad, look, this is my wardrobe. Inside, Riley's clothes for spring, summer, autumn, and winter were neatly arranged. Dad, look, this is a photo of me and Mom. Riley's bangs had been neatly cut from childhood to now. Luna had taken very good care of Riley. This liar had been lying to him all along. Your mom deliberately made you look a bit shabby so that you would come to find your dad, right? Riley nodded. Did your mom ever talk to you about your dad? Riley shook her head. In fact, he really wanted to know if Luna had ever truly liked him, but she didn't leave any trace behind. This little liar, she just wanted him to suffer the pain of love alone, didn't she? Joey, let's call off the engagement. Joey looked at her indifferently. Are you sure? Although I like you, you know my personality. I'd rather be a broken piece of jade than a complete tile. I've tried. But I can never compete with a dead person. It's better for me to find my own sky. Kathy continued, speaking against the wind. Besides, there are many people who like me lined up. Why should I be stuck on you? Joey smiled but didn't say anything. Riley asked her, Aunt Kathy, will you still come back to see Riley? Kathy squatted down and stroked Riley's head. Yes, I will. I promised your mom that I would be good to you. Even if I don't marry your dad, I can still be like a mom to you. How about I be your godmother, Riley? Okay. On the way back, Riley asked Joey, Dad, since you're not going to marry Aunt Kathy, will you marry another aunt? No, for the rest of my life. Dad just wants to live with Riley and make up for the love that Mom should have given you. Is that okay? Okay, Dad, look, the moon is curved tonight. It's Mom smiling. Yes, Mom will always accompany Riley as she grows up. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.